We're live. Welcome back, strong man. Look at our first comment. The Boglehead P words. Are we allowed to say that word, Jay? Or are we gonna get kicked off YouTube?
Probably get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah. Well, he's watching us. Maybe he'll send us a super chat too.
Probably
your life savings, Arthur.
Yeah, probably be down at the dock side waiting for the sailors to come in.
The docks. It's no longer the truck stop, everybody. It's the docks. Okay.
I like using both of them. I use them interchangeably. I don't know which one's worse. Probably the truck stop, because at least the sailors are like young and in shape.
Well, that's debatable. I don't know if sailors work out that much.
It's true. Yeah, so sorry you're not getting a second phone call. I should have done more due diligence and used a burner phone instead of my original.
So let's paint the story here. So Jay Nagy called financial education to learn about what they do. And he got caught because apparently they know about me because they're like, oh, your friend Strongman was doing this. So, but tell us your story. Tell us what happened.
So you can watch the video on my channel. I talked to one of Jeremy's representatives, and the funniest thing, right? The funniest thing is where I knew this was all going to be downhill was when he asked about the mathematical formula behind me, and I go, oh, okay. So like this dude hasn't even. I realize my camera's not the clearest, but this guy hasn't even been taught basic stuff to where he could recognize a discounted cash flow. That's how unknowledgeable. And I mean, in all honesty, do you know how long it'll take you to learn how to do a discounted cash flow? A half hour, if that. You just have to think about it and plug it into Excel. And you have all the. So we talk, and it's painful because I'm tired. And I just wanted to shout at him, just get to the goddamn prices. I don't want to sit here talking to you any longer. And so when I started asking him how, yeah, right, dude, that phone call it was so hard for me to I was just trying to power through it because I was tired. And he gets to the end, I start asking him some questions. I just basically like, so how does Jeremy value a stock? I don't know. Like, that's when I know he couldn't answer questions.
It's the future, bro. It's simple. Okay.
He sent me that lame SWOT analysis. I don't know if you watched the video or not.
That's what you do in like intro business classes. It's so stupid. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Makes me want to blow my freaking brains out.
Well, in looking through it, I know there's multiple ways to calculate a stock's value, right? I don't use price to sales ratio, but I know that your terminal multiple is somewhere around your PE ratio. And I don't understand what he's talking about, this total addressable market. Who cares? Your total addressable market means nothing. And he's using multiples of his market cap. And I'm like, no wonder this dude makes retarded choices in the stocks he chooses. You're using terminal multiples of 40. Like, where are you getting a terminal multiple of 40 on any?
Terminal multiple is just it's just when you sell the business. So it's you just say, okay, what's the earnings going to be? What's the PE going to be? That's the PE is your terminal multiple because that's what you're going to sell the business for, hypothetically. It's easy. If it's a slow growing company or a flat company, use 8, 10, 12. If it's going to be growing a little bit faster, even in the future, maybe 15, 18, something like that.
Well, that's why if you look on my sheet, it goes from a PE ratio of 11 to 25. That's the most likely range, and I got different ones in there. And I just average them together to get a stock price because I can't know what multiple it's going to be selling at in 10 years. So I'd rather just take an average of everything. But I mean, if you're using the cash flows, right, you get all the cash flows 10 years, and you want to say a company like Facebook, when I did my analysis of it today, you could say guessing that it'll grow 3% in perpetuity is too slow for Facebook, and you have a case of looking at me and saying, Well, you should use a terminal multiple of 5 or 6 for that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Agreed. I just throw a low number in there so that it meets my margin of safety. That's why all my numbers are so low, is because I'm operating under an extreme amount a margin of safety, because why wouldn't I just buy the all world stock market then? I moved beyond. I'm like, Sven Carlin's doing this thing about Berkshire. And I go, okay, but Berkshire is going to grow at about the same rate as the S&P 500 or the total stock market. Why would I take any risk if that's about the return I'm going to get back? There's less.
Yeah, it's so weird. Even everything money, they discount at like 10%. It's like, okay, well, why not just buy the freaking market? I mean, even 12%, I don't think it's worth it to buy an individual stock. I mean, you could be totally wrong and lose all your money.
Yeah, and that's why I like our philosophy. No more than 5 to 10%. I don't know, if you're 18 and you really know what you're doing, I don't have a problem with you being as much as 20 to 30% in individual stocks. But you got to
I would almost say the opposite, dude. I think the older you get, at least not age, I'd say the more experienced you get.
Yeah.
The more you understand the concepts, okay, then you could have more stocks as a percentage. But if you're young and dumb, I don't think you should have any individual stocks. I mean, people can disagree with me, and that's fine. But if you don't know what the heck you're doing, don't buy individual stocks.
Yeah, obviously, then I would tell you. But I'm like, if you're a young guy, you're 22, you majored in accounting and finance, and you have a firm idea of what's going on, and you're maxing your 401k, and you're like, yeah, well, I live frugally, and I run discounted cash flows on these, so I'm 20 to 30% individual stocks. Okay.
Yeah, the only guy that I'm allowing to buy individual stocks, and I am the emperor, you must obey me, is Eric. He's the only guy that's allowed to buy individual stocks in his 20s.
Yeah, but I mean, even myself, I do all this. Right now, I'm stacking cash. That's why I'm not buying anything. I would have looked deeper into Momo after looking at it, but I'm still not probably ever going to be above 5 to 10% of my portfolio in individual stocks.
Yeah, I'm done with individual stocks. I've been looking at some individual stocks. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll put 500 here and 500 there, but it's just like screwing around, But I'm trying to. I have $6,000 in cash in short-term bond ETFs, and that's literally sitting there for my freaking Roth IRA in January 1st, 2022. So, I mean, for everybody that's watching, if you can't max everything, your tax advantage accounts, don't be buying individual stocks. Just save the cash and wait to max those out.
Oh, I completely agree. I like the only time you should be buying outside of your 401k or your Roth IRA is when you've maxed everything. I don't have a problem if you're sitting there looking at it and you go, look, dude, I got to buy index funds, man. I'm buying some BABA stock outside of it. Okay. But I mean, when you talk to when you see a lot of these guys on YouTube and you're like, because that's what they're getting that face ready for after the stock market crashes. I heard in your video, you talking about Jeremy, but here's the thing. I don't think Jeremy lives that frugally.
No, dude. All these guys, Andre, even Graham, all of them, they're living this high flying lifestyle. And if YouTube ever dries up, because that's the only income they have, that's the only skill they have, is YouTube. If YouTube ever goes away or the market crashes and their subscribers crash, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
The only one that's going to survive the crash is Graham.
Graham's super wealthy. I don't think, if you really think about how much they've made in income, I think they should be way wealthier than they are. You look up Andre Jeek's net worth. I don't know how accurate this is, but it was like $3 million. It's like, dude, you're one of the biggest financial YouTubers. If you took all your income and just invested it in an index, you should be like 10, 15, $20 million easy in net worth.
Well, you look at what they're buying. Jeremy owns 3 large homes. This would be me personally. I'd be looking at my wife going, listen, we're just going to live a modest middle-class lifestyle and save all of this money, because he's not smart enough to actually think this way. Because I think he actually, I think he actually thinks he knows what he's doing.
Oh, he totally.
It's really going to take a crash for him to realize that he's a moron. But Andre Jeek, if you look, he's like, oh, I bought a house. When you look at his house in Vegas and you're like, listen, even with the money you're making, dude, you don't have that kind of house income. Like, I could make it huge on YouTube. If I had their money, I would probably still be living in a house that's approximately the same value of the one I'm living in now. Because
the only time I would get a house like that is if I had enough money saved where I could just live off of that money forever and be able to afford the mortgage. But if I have to use my YouTube earnings to pay for the mortgage, that's not worth it, because the risk is YouTube goes away, you're screwed. Like you're gonna be down on the truck stop.
100%. I would want to be in a position where I'd be like, listen, if I was married to my wife or girlfriend, I'd be like, listen, where we're going is if YouTube cuts us off tomorrow, doesn't matter. We're fine. We can live a middle-class lifestyle. Our goal before we buy anything is to be making $100,000 to $150,000 a year from our investments. We'll live on that and we'll just keep piling it up until we don't ever have to worry about money. And I mean, it's the thing. No matter how much you make, as long as you just live below your means, you're fine. And I don't have a problem with those guys going out and, it's just because it's their money. But don't come back to me later on and be looking at me like, well, I don't know what happened. Maybe you shouldn't have bought that 7th Cybertruck, dude. And you're right. They have no discernible skills. At least I know if everything fails tomorrow, if I work at it, I am funny enough and say enough ridiculous stuff that I could become a comedian.
Well, you have a job and you have disability. Like even if YouTube never works out, you're fine. And like, I'm an accountant. It's like, okay, YouTube falls apart. Oh, I guess I'll just keep tutoring and accounting and doing the army thing. That's the position you want to be in. You can't just be like YOLO into one freaking income source.
Well, I mean, when that dude is talking about I got 7 figures in the tattooed chef, I'm like,
wait. The guy, so go back to the phone call. You called this guy.
Oh, no, that dude doesn't. I don't think that dude has any money. I think that's why.
I was like, isn't this kid, is he like a kid? How does he have $1 million in tattooed nutsack?
I don't know, dude. But I mean, when that guy.
LaFufu has.
We got off the subject. So I get a text from him that says, oh, I see that you're friends with Strongman. He has said a lot of not nice things about Jeremy. I'm like, you haven't listened to any of my videos, have you? Because I'm way worse than Chris, calling him a straight moron constantly. And then, so he's like, what is your intention here? I go, my intention? He said, not that I think you'll tell me. I go, I'll tell you my intention. My intention is that Jeremy never be able to rob from his fans again.
Watch, he's probably going to try to, if we get big enough, he's probably going to try to sue us. I would invite that. I would love it.
I would honestly tell my lawyer to get in contact with his lawyer and be like, I will be more than happy in a court of law to point out all the bullshit that he's selling his fans.
And on top of that, people will give the SEC a call too there, Jeremy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's one thing. I put it up. It's up there now. And, you can say all day long, this isn't financial advice. Okay. So why am I paying you money then?
Dude, buy the stock, but it's not financial advice. It's like, come on. Every YouTuber that does personal finance is giving financial advice. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I have zero problem with being dragged into court. You were given financial advice. Yeah. What did you say? Max tax advantaged accounts. There'd be a money guy in there who goes,
yeah, executed. You put to death. Wouldn't that be ironic if the SEC came after us instead of Jeremy?
They were like, Jeremy, we have bigger plans for Jeremy than you've even realized. Like he's part of some like grand Illuminati plan to take over the world.
Jeremy bought off the SEC
with his YouTube money.
Man, imagine if he's like the Secretary of the Treasury or something like that. Woo!
Well, I was reading his fans saying if Jeremy started his own ETF, I'm like, you'd go bankrupt.
Yeah. Oh, we got a donation. Oop. Not that guy. We'll get all the comments. Thank you, Crane Man. That's very nice of you. If y'all didn't know, it's my birthday. Okay, I'm 32. I'm 30 years away from Social Security. Jay's like 5 years away from Social Security.
Like a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need YouTube. I'm just gonna live off Social Security.
Hey, full Social Security and my VA disability, I could be.
Oh, wait a minute.
I can already do that.
Nat stock. Crane, man, I can't promise you I'm gonna buy Nat stock. I'll think about it. Okay. I want to keep my $5. Well, actually, so he gave me $5. YouTube takes like 30%, and then I have to pay taxes. So I'll probably get like $2 after all that. But that might be enough to buy one Nat stock. So maybe I will buy it.
Yeah. So you went out and got hammered Friday night?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you my drunk story. This is very interesting. This is very cool, guys. So back in the day, when I was in the Army, I was in my 20s. I used to be able to drink like a fish and just stay out till 2 a.m. Well, me and my buddy go out to this like country bar. It's like the only dance club in our area. And we were done by like midnight. We were like, there's so many young kids there. They're like in their early 20s. A bunch of young Navy people wearing like sweats. It's like, who wears a freaking sweats to a club? And we were like, all right, we're tired. We're just going home. So about 12 o'clock, me and my friend in our 30s just left the club. That was the story.
Dude, I just went
pretty
to bed.
Pretty crazy.
I just went to bed last night and the night before, and I had a great time.
Yeah, of course, my wife was sick. So the kid woke me up at like 4, 5, or 6 in the morning. I was drunk. Oh, it was freaking horrible.
Yeah, I can only imagine having to get up and burp a baby, kind of hammered.
When you're drunk, it's freaking horrible.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm doing the September to October thing doesn't really seem to be a big deal to me the more I do it. And I mean, the more I do it, the more I'm enjoying sleep because I'm sleeping better.
Oh yeah, if you don't drink and you like maybe try melatonin, try that. Like you do some good sleep hygiene.
No, dude, magnesium threonate and L-theanine you try those, dude. L-theanine is what they put in energy drinks to calm you down. Dude, I
don't need that pussy stuff.
Dude,
I drink caffeine before I go to bed.
Do you really? My stepdad's like that. He'll be drinking coffee at like 9:30 at night, and he's like, all right, time to go to bed. And I'll be staring at him, and he'll start laughing because he knows I have trouble sleeping and how much it pisses me off that he can drink coffee and just go to bed.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Some people are like that. Not me. If I drink caffeine, I'm going to be up all night. All right, anyway, let's get back to the let's compare portfolios, you loose were. All right, Dr. Two Incision, if you send me a $50 super chat, I will literally pull up my portfolio right now. $50. Anyway, let's get back to Jeremy phone call.
I don't know. I don't understand why somebody thinks that the size of their portfolio is like in any way indicative, unless he was being sarcastic, of somebody's actual investment ability. Because, I mean, you could just inherit $10 million and have whatever, and you could be a shrewd investor who invested $100 a week for the past 10 years, and you only have 50,000 in there. I
can tell this guy doesn't know how to do money because I see a bunch of looks like expensive cars in his thumbnail. So he's probably spends all his money on cars. But I'm rich.
You're a broke wannabe. Are you a Labeefy fan? Or a Jeek or a Meat Spin Kevin fan? Because if you are and you're actually seriously trolling this, please listen to their information. And then I'll find you on the internet 3 years from now and ask you how you're doing.
He makes $726K. Let me guess. Do you sell YouTube finance courses?
He's trolling us. He's having a good time. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not hating on it.
Yeah, screw it. All right. Yeah, let's talk more about Labeefy because we don't have much time.
No, I mean, that's really just pretty much the gist of it. So he figured out I'm friends with you, which he should have just watched one of my videos and he could have figured out I wasn't a fan. And near the end, I was surprised. He goes, and we can do all this for $3,500. And that's when I started asking questions. And I couldn't. It was one of those situations where I wanted more, so I couldn't just tell him what I thought of him.
Yeah. I would try to call him back again and just see what they say. Just don't even hide that you're freaking.
No, dude, I texted him and I said, you and anyone in your organization are more than welcome to come on my channel and debate me. I said, anytime, I'll set it up, whoever it is. And he didn't respond. They're not going to. And Jeremy could simply make me stop making fun of him, even though I only have 360 subs, if he just came on my channel and debated me.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, if you come on my channel, Jeremy, because I know he's at least seen some of my videos. Because like I had somebody posted it in their Discord, one of the videos I made. I know he's seen at least one of them.
Somebody posted it in his Discord.
Yeah, I got an insider. I'm not going to tell you who, but
yeah, no, you don't have to. And why would you tell me no? Why is that guy mad that he spent the money on it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a rational person, you got to be freaking pissed that LaFufu took all that money for basically, a bunch of trash stocks.
Well, it's not only that. The dude sent me what they do on the 10K to help you. They underline stuff. They highlight it for you.
What sections do they underline? The financial statements?
What they think is important. And I'm like, well,
look, all you gotta do, read the risks, read the management's discussion and analysis, and read the freaking financial statements.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that really is honestly it. And you don't even need to do that. Now that I have everything money software, I can extract everything that I need quickly. I don't actually have to go through and do the math.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. And of course, I copied their software. So on my Excel sheet. So yeah, all I have to do is go on Morningstar, freaking download it, put it in the software or the Excel sheet, and then it does the same thing. It's super easy. I mean, and even then, even if the numbers look good, you don't have to buy any individual stocks.
Well, that's another problem with the Everything Money software. This is just being nitpicky, but I can tell it uses it uses the current earnings per share and free cash flows instead of the 5-year average. Because I lined my stuff up with it, and I'm like, the numbers they got, I then changed it to this year's, and it works out almost exactly.
Yeah, I was getting I'm always $1 off. I don't know if it's because their shares are more accurate or their numbers are they get the full number and I get an abbreviated number, but it's within a decent range. So, I mean, like you said, the fatal flaw with their software is they use the most recent revenue number or free cash flow number. And if that's overstated, like if the company has a crazy year, it's going to use that as the beginning assumption and just completely screw up your projection.
Well, that's what I've been doing with a lot of these companies, and why I've been getting lower numbers than a lot of other people is because even I went and compared my stuff to Sven Carlin, and then I realized I was like, oh, I'm way lower than him because he's using the most current EPS. And this is the thing that, see, even a PhD, where I think he's wrong, and I would tell him if I was talking to him, is we had a weird year.
Just saying bye. Bye, buddy. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for watching. We had a weird year last year and up till now. So I don't trust any of the numbers.
Well, think about this. It's like we printed a bunch of money and gave a bunch of people stimmy checks. And then all these companies had these massive, blowout sales. It's like, I wonder why these companies had blowout sales. But if the stimmy checks stop, what's going to happen? Are we going to revert back to where they were before?
Yeah, that's why, dude, I'm getting at best $257 for Facebook stock, where they, like everybody else, my range is like,
what's it trading at now?
My range is like 100 to 247. And that's when I average everything together. If I go into, so highest,
it's at 363 right now.
Huh?
It's at 363 right now.
Yeah. Highest of the high assumptions. And that's that Facebook sells at a price to earnings ratio at 25 and grows at 25% per year, which I don't think is likely. I'm getting $787 and a 10% discount rate. But in the same place, selling at what I think is more accurate, they grow by 15% for a 25 PE ratio, $371. Because I'm using a different EPS than they're using. Because they're using the most current one. And I'm like, this isn't accurate, man. The Fed pumping all that money completely distorted everybody's market. You can't look at that. At best, take the average of last year and this year.
Yeah, that's definitely scary. I would definitely not assume that these numbers are going to continue.
Well, I mean, you're already, if it goes just to a PE ratio of 15, even at 20% growth per year, you're still underwater. See, my numbers are lower because I averaged these in with a 15% discount rate to get an average price at a 15 PE ratio of $239.
I mean, to be honest, just don't touch any freaking FANG stocks whatsoever. I mean, that's a baseline right there.
I'm not touching anything. I would, if you're in the market for Facebook, I'd look to pick it up probably about what I did with book value plus their high end $147 is, if I was you, if you were looking to pick it up, is what I would pick it up.
Well, I'm thinking, if you just patiently wait for the next market correction, you're going to be finding tons of deals because all the numbers we're pulling up now, those stocks are probably dropped down to those numbers. And it's like, all right, no brainer. I'm going to buy this stock. So you got to wait.
It's what I tell everybody. Everybody has a different method. I'm looking to pick up a company I want between a 9 and 11 price to earnings ratio. And that gives you about a 15% or greater return. I just don't see in taking any risk, even if it's like I've maxed my tax advantaged accounts. I just don't see the point in taking the risk unless I could just put that money in an index fund.
Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of people, I know everybody claims they're rich and they're billionaires, which it's all BS. Everybody's broke. The vast majority of people cannot even max their tax advantage accounts. Therefore, in my opinion, the vast majority of people should be buying any individual stocks. You could do it for like fun on like a paper account. Or if you really want to put 5% in like your Roth, okay. But other than that, just stay away.
Well, as much as I respect Paul and his brain, I still have questions that he would have to explain to me over dinner or something like Walgreens. I'd be like, bro, I looked at that stock and it's just, there. I don't think it's going anywhere. Huh?
If you put it into the tool, the Everything Money tool, it looks like a freaking steal. But at the end of the day, if it's a long-term hold, it's still just no moat, declining margins.
And you're using the most current year's numbers instead of back numbers, which is why I got a lower thing. But here's the thing. You can only expect Walgreens at this stage in its life to grow at inflation plus dividends plus growth. So at best, you're looking at 7% per year. At best. I would probably throw 5% per year on there. And if I was doing it as a function of free cash flow, it would be a terminal multiple of 3, meaning it's going to grow in 3% in perpetuity. And that's so, I mean, that, like everybody's got a different idea. I would just, that's like, it's the same thing I said about CVS. It's just 3M. Here's another example. 3M is one of those companies that if you said you could only pick one company and you had to put money in it and you're going to disappear to an island for 20 or 30 years, I might possibly pick 3M because I know they're still going to be making stuff. But is that where I want to put my money right now? No. I was just like, when I was looking at the numbers, I'm like, this is just
Jay, is VT stock. An option for one of the stocks you could just own forever?
Yeah, that's, I mean, obviously, I'll just buy the whole entire world market. But
and here's an excellent comment, and I 100% agree with this.
Yeah,
that is 100% why he bought it.
Dude, I agree with you. That's why I think he bought it. And
Paul at least looked at the fundamentals. Jeremy's just like, woo! FTF. We'll get to all your comments in a second, boys.
What did he pick? I'm just curious.
That's like a Chris Sane stock. It was literally, it was like a juice company, and then they're trying to become like a crypto weird company.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Dude,
I was like, what is this? You want to do some comments?
Yeah, let's do some comments.
All right, here we go. The Boglehead peas. I don't know. Can we say that word? That phone call was cringe. Yes, it was.
And I had to sit through it without saying ridiculous stuff, which I wanted to do. I wanted to start because Norm died last week. I wanted to just interrupt the guy and be like, do you know Clinton murdered a guy?
Yeah, you should act like an old man. It's like, I'm 55.
Norm Macdonald did that on The View in 2000 because they were like, you're a fan of Bush. And he goes, yeah, it's good to get honesty back in the White House and get all that murder out of the White House. And they go, murder? What are you talking about? Norm Macdonald goes, Clinton, he killed a guy.
We all know it's true. You can't deny it. First comment. You weren't the first comment, Alex. I'm sorry. The Boglehead Pussies was the first comment, which is my favorite comment I've ever seen in my life. Is that what I am? I'm just a bell. Can't even type out my name. It probably automatically did that in the book. Good stuff. Thank you. I'm glad you all like my book. If you haven't bought it yet, you better buy it because I need your money so I can grift and then make a fake portfolio and pretend like I'm a good investor. Oh, here we go. I need the money so I can just buy a bunch of random stocks and then show you guys the ones that go up, and then I can sell a course. Okay?
Well, what was that? What was that dude, that Nash dude from ticker symbol U? He's figuring out that this is just a shady cesspool. This is a den of vipers and thieves, the online YouTube financial category.
Like, yeah. If you have any knowledge of Bogleheads, like I've known that for 10 years. It's like, okay, Wall Street's a bunch of scumbags. The people on YouTube are just another like manifestation of the Wall Street. Oh, trade, buy my course. They're just trying to extract as much money as they possibly can. It's the same freaking crap. If you do Bogleheads, you know that stuff. But well, now I see it. Maybe.
That's the thing, man. There's an entire field of study devoted to just simply beating the market.
And they don't. Yeah. They don't at all. The index funds always win in the long run. The boys are back in the town. That's right. Sorry we didn't do it yesterday. I went to these people's house, and then we stayed later than I expected. So now we're here on a Sunday night. One last thing, avoid the bots. So there's actually a bot. You know I have a bot, Jay?
Yeah, I know. I saw the thing.
I always told myself if I ever had a bot, that means I was successful on YouTube. And now I feel like I finally made it because I have a bot imitating me trying to sell cryptocurrency.
Well, I know crypto's your favorite thing.
Of course. Me, Kevin Lawton. Is he really running for president? Oh, my God.
Is he really making an ETF for his fans to buy?
Oh, I got to tear that apart. I hope he is making an ETF. What a freaking loser. I wonder what his management fees are going to be, 5%.
His ETF involves you just sending him money.
Tattoo Chef's total addressable market is 0.0. It's tattooed nutsack, Julius. Get it right.
I don't understand the obsession with that stock. I really don't. I'm like, I can understand the obsession with Tesla because of the cult of Elon Musk, but not tattooed nutsack.
I don't get it, man. I mean, like, why would you risk your future on that company? I mean, maybe it will go up. We don't know. But why would you risk your future on Tattooed Chef, of all things?
Well, I know that as long as I continue to do this, there will be at some point that some fanboy from Jeremy comes and he goes, yeah, but look, he got tattooed nutsack right and you were wrong. Yeah, but I got the other 99 right.
Oh, I maxed my 401k the last 10 years. I don't care. The whole point is you don't YOLO all your money into unprofitable stocks.
Dude, you don't know how happy it would make me to see LaBeefy back working at like whatever he worked at, Quick Trip.
Yeah, dude, he is a skillless chump. He has no skills. That's why if he loses YouTube, that guy's freaking done, son.
And
done.
Like we said earlier, we're beating a dead horse. He's not saving that money. He's not saving that and putting it in wise. Like I can only imagine if there was a crash, people lost a lot of money. People complained to YouTube, and they said you can't monetize financial videos anymore. What is he going to do? He can't do a podcast and sell his personality because it sucks.
Tesla my Tesla. TTF is trash, coming from a vegan. Thank you. At least one person sees the truth. Okay. Jesus. Ironic that Jeremy worked at a gas station. He'll be back there if he keeps it a terrible place. Oh, boy. Here we go. Jeremy started investing after 2008, so he never had a real crash. A lot of us have started investing after 2008. I think this guy went to bed already, but yeah, I started investing in 2011. That's when I actually had my first job. So we'll see what happens if there's actually a real bear market, because over the last 10 years, it's been up, 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 up.
You know what I'm afraid of in a bear market is I'm just doing my my sheet that's actually built to completely talk me out of buying any stocks. I just start looking there and I'm like, well, apparently this stock's a buy too now. It's under the zone. I'm not going to buy it, but because I mean, if Microsoft drops to like an 11 PE ratio, it's like, I might have to buy that.
I actually bought a private prison stock. I'll make a video on it. They cut their dividend too.
Why did you buy? Are you just watching it?
Yeah, it's a speculative play, but I mean, it's super low PE. There's a bunch of fear and uncertainty because Biden, is trying to ban private prisons, but I think people are overreacting. I put $500 into it, but I'll make a video on it.
I wouldn't think twice if you told me you bet $500 on a fight over the weekend because you put so much money away. So it's like,
yeah, okay. Whenever I say I'm buying a stock, except for Baba, I have like $7 or $8 grand in Baba now. But like everything else, it's like, oh, I bought this stock. It was like $500. I mean, I really don't have that many individual stocks. Loosing my butt, trying to short Asan. Don't short, guys. It's risky. Okay, unlimited losses.
If you're gonna short, I mean, make sure there's just spec money.
There will be but shorting is like if you're actually like if you're buying puts, okay, whatever. But if you're shorting the stock, if there's a short squeeze, you can get freaking annihilated. So just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. There will be no Social Securities in 30 years. That is false. There will be Social Security. It'll just be a very small check. Okay,
yeah.
It's not going away entirely, but it's gonna suck. I wouldn't count on Social.
Well,
Security.
dude, I mean, like the fact that we should have been pushing for years. Now that I know this, to switch it to you're just buying the entire world market, or it should be switched to like your Social Security is invested in a targeted date fund.
Yeah, that would be genius, and especially if they took your payroll deduct, because they take 6.2% of your paycheck, and your employer has to pay 6.2%. Imagine if an extra 12% of your paycheck was going into a total world index fund. Imagine how good you'd be.
Especially since how clueless the average person is, they would wake up in retirement and be like, "Wait, I have $3.5 million to last me through retirement." Like, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a freaking joke because the government puts them in like treasuries. That's where they put the extra money they have sitting around, which they're just borrowing from Social Security and giving people terrible returns. Ban. So this guy was telling me to ban what's his face, Dr. Decision. I'm not going to ban anybody. I like the trolls, unless you're like really obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm not for unless you're dropping like racial epithets and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're going to be demonetized or executed by YouTube, then no. What happens if you contribute 10 to 5 and never go to college? No, I mean, if you take it out, you're going to be you're going to have to pay that extra tax. So you get freaking hammered if you take money out of a 529 without its intended purpose.
Andy, so, if your kid never does it, go back to school for something.
They're so flexible. You can like change, like even if you have a grandkid, maybe you can transfer it to the grandkid, or who freaking knows? I mean, pay the penalty.
Yeah, worst case scenario, add a skill set to yourself. You set the money aside, and it's better than taking a class at the local community college is better than losing an extra 10% on top of what you lose. Penalty.
Look at that. Stimmy checks ain't stopping. S&P to $1,000. Isn't the S&P like 4,000 right now? 4,200, whatever. Maybe he's saying it's going down. I don't know. But if the stimmy checks kept coming, I mean, people keep spending that money. Stocks go up.
No, he's saying saying that it'll go down.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see it going to a G, but like 1,600 is reasonable.
Yeah, if you just put, like, if you went back to its historic PE, 15. If you actually look at the historic PE, it's like 14, 15, and they're saying the forward PE is like 20. So it could drop 33%, and that would bring it back roughly to historical levels. And then maybe it would drop a little bit more because people are freaking out. So maybe 40. I mean, who freaking knows? I don't know. But I don't think it would drop. I think Jay's right. I don't think it would drop down to $1,000. What happened to Alibaba? I don't know. Stock price went down. Business went up. I bought more. I actually did buy $1,000 more of Baba recently.
I don't think about like, and especially since like Baba's like 2% of my portfolio, if that at this point. Like, you just think about where you think it's going to be in 5 years. I think a lot of this Chinese, the money they had to pay to China wasn't an extortion fee like everybody thinks. From the way I understand it, what it was they defer taxes when they're a young and growing company, and China came back to them and said, "You're a firmly established company now. We want our money." So I don't think Xi Jinping has any desire to kill Alibaba, which is generating massive tax revenue for the state. I think he just wanted to correct a few things and show them who's boss, because I think a lot of them got a little bit too big for their britches.
Yeah, and I think the delisting thing is just extreme. Like, do you really – I mean, America and China are so interconnected. It's insane. And to really think that we're going to actually delist this massive freaking company, I mean, it's possible. And if you don't like that risk, don't buy the stock. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just overblown fears. And if the fears go away, that stock is going to freaking rocket.
And this is what I would also say. If this stock doesn't work out, you know how long it's going to delay me in retirement?
Not at all. If it's a small part of your portfolio.
Yeah.
You can't lose, ladies and gentlemen. Buy Total World and then have 5% for stocks, and you'll be just fine. I'm Christopher Bell, long-term bullhead investor, author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser, and hater of Jay Nagy. I don't hate you. OMG, is it Geo? Yes, I put $500 into Geo. I did. I'll make a video about it. It's a spec play. I don't really care. I love Geo.
What if it breaks out like Tesla?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, that company is undervalued, but it's because of politics. So it's kind of like Smith & Wesson. Except Smith & Wesson had that massive revenue run up, but it's a political stock. So if you buy it now and then the political winds change, yeah, that stock could go up 2x, maybe even 3x. But you could also be down for it.
When I did Momo, and it just turns out it's just massively undervalued everywhere. Even when I figured out the book value per share, it was undervalued. I was like looking at the thing, I'm like, oh, I wish I wasn't in the position where I just bought a house, so I spent all my reserve money that I'm now building back up. So I'm at like $7,000. I need to be at 10.
Jay, I'm going to YOLO Momo tomorrow because I trust you, okay? I'm going to YOLO $500 into Momo. I believe you. Is it really that good? Is it really that good?
Go watch my video where I'm like kind of surprised. I go, at the end, I concluded, I'm like, if I had money right now, I would be reading this company's 10K.
Yeah, I would recommend you read the Geo 10K. I mean, the biggest fear with Geo from what I got is a lot of banks don't want to lend them money. So they have like a bunch of debt coming due in the next couple of years. And all the banks want to be liberal and amazing. And, oh, my God, we can't lend money to you. So they're trying to basically figure out what to do. So they suspended their dividend and they're paying off their debt.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't invest in a company just on social reasons, but I'm against private prisons. Ultimately, I'm against private prisons because I'm a capitalist. And I understand that, like, private prisons lobby for crimes to be crimes that shouldn't be crimes, in my opinion. like throwing people in jail for weed or acid or prostitution. And if they got really big, they would keep lobbying for more and more crap to be illegal.
Yeah, well, so Gia also has like ICE detention. It's so complicated, but they're in multiple countries. They do ICE, which they have to house the freaking people somewhere.
Oh,
so
I
put them in the.
I don't have a problem with ICE or the Border Patrol. They do a job. You can't just have open borders.
I actually bought them because they're a private prison. I heard they tortured people, so I YOLO'd all my money into it.
Wait, if they're torturing people, I want in.
just mortgage your house to buy Geo.
And then I'm gonna get a job there so that I can waterboard people.
Financial Empire LLC. Well, way better than Financial Fortress.
I'm kind of lost on this one.
So Lufufu has Financial Fortress. I don't know what Financial Empire is. Maybe she's probably talking to somebody else. Where I charge 100 as opposed to 5,000. I would charge more if I was to build somebody a financial plan. I'm going to charge like $500 to $1,000. Like if I went through all your crap and built you a plan, yeah. But that would be like a one-time upfront fee, and I'd be like, buy index funds. Here's how you pay off your debt. Here's life insurance you need to buy, et cetera, et cetera.
I couldn't even do it because if somebody was like, dude, set me up with a financial plan, I'd be like, a guy actually contacted me on here as a student. He said, what do I do? And I go to Fidelity because you don't have a lot of money right now. I said, open yourself a Roth IRA there and put the total world market in there or any of the index funds that are a total stock market with no expense ratio.
But that's boring, Jay. I want a 10X. You trolled us, Singularity, man. Come on. I'm just kidding. Anything come with SEC investigation of Lufufu? I mean, we didn't confirm it was an SEC investigation. Me and Jay suspected that, but we can't confirm that. And I guess nothing happened because he's still making those stupid 10X videos. Analysts have Geo at $15 fair value. Yeah, the stock is undervalued only because of politics. That's literally
what's it selling for right now?
$7. If the political winds change, that stock's a banger. But then again,
what's its PE ratio?
Like 4 or something.
And it has increasing cash flows.
I mean, yeah. So the revenue slowed down over the last year, but I think that's because of the new presidency. But over time, the revenue's significantly increased. I mean, if you look at it fundamentally, it's solid.
As long as if a company's got a PE ratio and cash flows and it's not drowning in debt, if its current ratio is above 1, I look at that as kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and its PEG ratio is below 1.
Yeah, you don't even really have to do a whole bunch of research. You just read their 10K and they're like, we expect to turn profitable. Okay, they're already profitable. Because, I mean, it's like Paul said, even a declining company is worth something. So, like, if you took a company that was declining its cash flows like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but it was selling at a price to earnings ratio like 5, I would consider buying that. I'd be like, this is massively undervalued. I'll just soak up those cash flows.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought those cash flows for $1, you still made a ton of money. Oh, Tesla appears to be undervalued. I agree with you, Arthur.
Dude, I've already gone through my bull thesis that Tesla actually becomes the world market once it owns everything.
Dude,
so, I mean,
solving the money problem, he made a video where I'll make a video on it, but he basically said Tesla's robots are going to be in everybody's home, and Tesla's going to like 25x from here because everything is going to be Tesla. He literally said that with a straight face. So I'm going to make a video about it. Like, this guy's got to be trolling us or something.
When I did I forget what the market cap I came out to when I did it, growing at 1.5% per year, but it was some utterly ridiculous market cap of like $8 trillion by 2031.
Yeah.
And that's another. Yeah, that's another reason why one of the ways that I figure out intrinsic value, I do so to see what the market cap would be were that stock selling at that price, because it was like I said when I did I think it was Microsoft, I go, if you believe the numbers, it's going to be selling for $3.5 trillion in 10 years. I was like, I have a tough time. That That was that Cameron Stewart dude that said, and Microsoft have a market cap of $7 trillion. And I'm like, does that sound realistic to you? Because even 3.5 sounds. Microsoft selling at 2 to 2.5 trillion 10 years from now seems appropriate, right at what it's selling for now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just like trust the growth is going to happen infinitely. Like every company reaches a peak. There's got to be a point where it stops growing, and that's going to be all the freaking companies. So you can't just, they're going to grow at 15% forever. It's just ridiculous. But if they do, then you own the world index and you'll be fine. A 6x'd with in mode. 6x. That must be a really good feeling to 6x. I've never.
Dude, that must have been nice. Yeah, you took your profits, right? I hope.
And then
if I 6x, I'm taking profits, dude.
Yeah, I've never like 6x or 2x or 3x. I haven't bought individual stocks until recently.
You 2x'd on Bank of America when I bought last year. Doubled my money on it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to 2x unless you buy individual stocks, but I've always been an index person until recently. Even analysts think Tesla's over. I don't even believe that. That fair value is BS. It's so much lower than that.
Through college, I did the intrinsic value on Tesla. I mean, if you just run its gram number, it comes out to like $10.
Dude, if Ford is like a tenth the size of Tesla, it just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
And I'm going to go to this. If you guys, when people are saying, your $10 for Tesla with your gram number is outrageous. Okay, well, multiply that times 5 so you get 50. And that's about what Tesla was selling for a year and a half to 2 years ago before the run up. So I'm like, dude, like any way you look at it, it's like, what did they do? $1.2 billion last year. They have a $700 billion market cap.
It's fucking
are adding up.
It's insane, dude. Whatever. This is how you win in the market. You just got to be patient and realize stupid stocks, even if they go up for a while, just stay away from them.
If Tesla drops massively into the 30s, I'm buying one share. And that's not because I have a whole bunch of confidence in the company. It's just going to be one share that stays in my portfolio forever.
I'm proud of you, Jay. You're going to be a Tesla fanboy. He won't run for mayor for San Francisco because it isn't big enough. What a freaking loser. Still hold. Sell.
I don't know. If you've done your research and you think you can get more out of it or it's fair value, it's not.
I don't know. I'm a chicken rat. I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah, you're not going to be down at the truck stop.
Hippo will buy. Yeah, I can totally see that. Is that what me, Kevin, said to you, Arthur? It's legit, obviously. Yeah. Meat spin, Kevin. Analysts are bearish and they don't get Tesla's growth. That's right. Look at the price to sales for the average auto company, ladies and gentlemen. And then even if you project out Tesla's insane projections of growth, with a price to sales of 1 or less, the market cap's way lower than it is today.
Hold on. Let me see something. Keep going. I'm just looking something up.
I 10x on OVV, small cap oil stock. I'm jealous. I should have bought more individual stocks. All I did was index for 10 years.
Okay, I was wrong. Tesla's gram number is $23. And that's probably about. Huh?
Is it a buy now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm buying.
I mean, 700's less than 23, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's like 600 less. Yeah. Arthur, are you in Hippo? Come on, man. Sell that crap. Their superior customer service model.
Dude, he's just trolling us and saying ridiculous stuff.
No, he's not. He's 100% Hippo. As soon as me, Kevin, bought Hippo, the stock went up 20%. No. He's a scum. I'm telling you, he's just pumping and dumping all these stocks. He's a freaking loser. It's kind of sick.
Definitely, dude. Definitely, man. We'll go have a couple drinks with Tom Cruise. See ya. Bro, I'm telling you, man, you have not seen weird till you've been in downtown Clearwater with all the bolted up windows. There's boards in them, and the Scientologists are walking by and they act like you don't exist. Dude, it is so weird.
Are they really? Is there really like a lair or whatever you call it in Clearwater?
They own most of Clearwater.
Really?
In fact,
I didn't know that.
My old apartment complex got bought out by Church of Scientology, and me and my buddy, I'd stop over at his house or his apartment. I'd be talking to him. We'd be out on his lanai. He'd be like, "See that place across the street? They're moving a different Scientology member in there like every couple weeks, man." He's like, "It's weird. They're just coming in and out of here."
Yeah, they're probably getting sacrificed. That's why they have to get fresh meat. Y'all gonna make me hate me. I don't hate you. I'm glad you made money, okay? As long as you know crypto is worthless and you're gambling.
As long as you know, like I said, as long as you know crypto is worthless and you know how to play the game, play the game. There's nothing wrong in making money on it.
You just got to buy the dip, bro. Buy the dip. Nah, index is the way to go. That's right. Yeah, see, he speculated a little bit. That's fine. They have a church in Ybor. What is Ybor City?
It's Ybor. That's where everybody goes to party. Pretty much like if you stick your hand on a rail down there or like a doorknob, you get an STD. Whether you have like it's just like if you get a soda down there, you automatically get throat gonorrhea.
Don't sure do you have that, Jay?
Yeah.
All right, it's our hour. I actually have to sign off shortly.
Yeah, no worries. I gotta go. I gotta take care of something too. So, but
thank you everybody for tuning in. What were you saying, Jay?
He's been Kevin scammed million from his fan. Yep.
I gotta make a video on that just to dump on him.
All right, dude. What hopefully we can do next Saturday then.
Yeah. I mean, this weekend was just a wash. Next Saturday I should be good for 2 hours. So normal time, 7 p.m. on Saturdays, everybody.
All right, sweet. I got to go to the bathroom anyway. So.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers.